Weather.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. Let's call this meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the Farmington Planning Board meeting. Let's start with some housekeeping things. You know, the exit over here and the one you came in at. Please silence all of your electronic devices, watches, whatever, so that doesn't interrupt. Just a reminder, when we go to take testimony in the public hearing phase and I turn the mics on out here, it records everything that is said. So if you're speaking, great. If other people are having sidebar conversations, they get recorded forever on YouTube. So it's up to you how you handle it. Most I can do is warn you. We're going to follow the agenda in the that it was on the table there. Hopefully you still had some agendas. And we're going to follow the rules and procedures adopted by this board earlier this year. One of those things is, and I'll talk about it when we get to it, we're going to limit time tonight because there's so many people here that want to give testimony, I assume. So we're going to limit time and go through and let people talk. And then when everybody has talked that wants to talk, we'll take people for the second time if they really want to do that. So with that, first item up in the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes. Everybody have a chance to review them. Can everybody hear me? Usually never a problem. Everybody get a chance to review? Any comments, questions? Do I get the motion to approve? Moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Minutes are approved. Legal notices have been published. Order of business. We start with the continued re-subdivision of PB 0702-23, the preliminary 3-lot re-subdivision for the Fowler Family Trust. Who's going to speak tonight from the applicant side? Jim? Step right up. Okay. Jared, are you online? Okay. Go ahead, Jim. Fill us in on what's changed or what's going on and all the rest.
Last meeting, now, determine what type of soil tests are required for the.
Yep.
property.
Mm-hmm.
Relation.
Right. Good.
Required some additional mapping.
Right. Yes. Actually, I have in my hot hand. We received it late this afternoon with some topo lines on it. We may need some clarification on some of the topo lines, but at least that's exactly the type of thing we're looking for. So. That about it?
There was one thing, I think Ron was talking to Jim Baker today, and he was wondering if he was going to be here tonight. Have some questions?
No,
No, okay.
no,
Just want to make sure.
I think it was a topo line issue.
it was yesterday when I talked to Jim. Got it all. He wanted the topo lines put on there and you'd have them.
I don't have to spend any more money.
Anything else, Jim? Okay, Ron.
We're just gonna continue this to July 17th.
Right.
Because you don't meet on July 3rd, there won't be any parking out here.
That's true. That's true. There won't be any. Still. Okay, anything else?
No?
Augie?
Nothing additional.
Jim? Engineering?
I don't have anything additional to add either.
Fire? Okay, we did receive a map with topo lines on it. We received it late this afternoon. We're probably gonna have them clean up and make the secondary topo lines a little cleaner so we can see them. And make sure that they're along the whole thing. I mean, it's just a layer that they just gotta turn on and maybe change the color of, so just so you can see it better. But other than that, this is exactly what we're talking about, because we were very concerned when there were no topo lines there of what was really going on. So we appreciate that, and they did a good job, and they did it quickly, so we appreciate that. So with that, this is a public hearing on the Fowler Family Trust. I'm going to open it up to public comments. I'm going to turn on the room mic, so remember if you got a sidebar. And I'm going to limit everyone to 3 minutes so that we can continue to keep this thing rolling. This is going to be a continuation while we get the information from the geotech guys on the soil, making sure that the current soils on site near where the dwelling would be located on lot 3. Is it lot 3? Lot 5C. To make sure that there hadn't been any changes since from the federal data as to the type of soil there, that something hadn't shifted, changed, or whatever. So we won't be able to do anything until the 27th on that. So with that, I'm going to open it up to public hearing on the Fowler Family Trust. Please feel free to raise your hand and I'll choose you, and we'll try to keep it to 3 minutes, if you would. Anyone like to speak for or against this application? Fowler Family Trust. Anyone like to speak for or against this application? Anyone online like to speak for or against this application? One more time, anybody online like to speak for or against this application? Okay, with that, no comments on the public hearing for the Fowler Family Trust. We are going to, we have a resolution that's been presented that will continue this public hearing until the 27th of June.
17th of July.
17th of July. There you go. Keep me straight. 17th of July. Okay? And you're okay with that resolution, obviously. Anybody else have any comments on the board? Okay. Do I have someone to move that resolution without reading it and present it? Motion by Tim, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beats.
Aye.
Adrian Velez.
Aye.
Ken Hensley.
Aye. Okay. Good to go, Jim. Thanks for working with us on that, and hopefully we'll get rolling on this, okay? Thank you. Yep. Okay. Fowler Family Trust has been completed and continued. Next item up, we have 4 items. PB 0408-24, PB 0409-24, PB 06-24, 0406-24, PB 0407-24. These are 2 preliminary site plan approvals for the Sky Solar project and 2 special use permits for the Sky Solar project. And so everybody remembers, we are in the environmental environmental review stage of this project. We are looking at and getting to the point where hopefully we get enough data and we can make a determination of significance on the environmental record for this project. There's a lot of stuff going on. We have tonight with us the fire chief, who's going to be able to answer any questions folks may have based on fire concerns. And we have the applicant. Come on up, applicant, and tell us what's been going on. How y'all doing? Speak loudly into the mic right there in front of it so it's all captured, please.
Very much. Again, my name is Frank Ruffalo with Sky Solar. And just as an update from the last time we were here, there were a couple of requests made of Sky Solar. One was a noise study.
Yep.
It was requested actually 2 meetings ago. Emily and her team submitted that actually late this afternoon, midday today, so you may not have a chance to review it.
Yeah, we haven't.
To answer any questions.
Yeah, we won't be able to ask questions on the noise study yet.
Second thing we submitted also today, there was a request for a geotech study.
Yep.
Ron, I believe from Doug, we submitted the geotech work that we did in preparation of the SWIP. So
Perfect.
again, submitted only today, so any questions, please send them on when you have a chance to review them.
Yep, we'll do that.
Third, at the last meeting, there were a number of articles presented with concerns, a variety of concerns about the project, anything from health, safety,
Mhm.
road, et cetera. So a majority, we responded as a group, a written response to the documents, not document by document, but we grouped them in similar categories and we prepared a written response.
Okay,
The majority of the comments were pertaining to the road.
Yep.
What I'd like to say about the road is that we, with Ron's help, have engaged with New Energy, the parcel owners to the south of us. We have had a couple of conversations. We feel we have a solution that will allow us to move the road away from the property lines. Unfortunately, we don't have enough engineering done to be able to present a plan. A draft was sent earlier today that we can talk with staff, and talk with New Energy.
Right.
At the next meeting, we hope to have a detailed plan with hopefully solve a number of issues, including moving the road away from the residents of
it's good news.
very good news. It's a lot of people working.
Yes,
together-
yes.
working together to get that.
Yep. And we appreciate you working with us on that, working with the town and when New Energy works.
And hopefully, I think we will have something that will address a lot of the concerns.
Cool.
The other majority of the concerns had to do with health and safety,
Yep,
solar, energy storage. To that note, we have responded in the letter. What we did today is we invited a consulting company that we use to help us review the design.
hmm
So I will let them introduce themselves as ESRG.
okay,
Experience in testing these systems.
up to the mic, there we go.
Providing a number of services.
Good.
Will ensure that these systems are safe and operated properly. So I would like to, at this point, hand it over to Eric Wood from ESRG.
Good, let me just wait 2 seconds though. Emily, when we do get a plan for, and there's some kind of semi-agreement to the new placement of the road, I would like to see new stakes put out in a different color so everybody can kind of see what that change has been. So, and I know you're probably already aware of that, but that's one of the things that I think is really important so people can see where that might go. So, perfect. Okay, go ahead. Introduce yourself, sir, and tell us what's going on.
Nice to meet you. My name is Eric Wood.
Hey, Eric.
I'm A representative for Energy Safety Response Group. Energy Safety Response Group, we are a third-party consulting agency that specifically deals with battery energy storage systems,
Mhm.
where we help design products with different companies from beginning all the way through the commissioning process. Our company is made up of firefighters and engineers. I was a firefighter for 20 years in the state of Ohio. Just recently got out, and I spent the last 6 years within our lab structure in the state of Ohio testing battery systems and what they look like and how they fail. So that when we come out, we have these discussions, we can give you real-time insight on the safety standards and the health aspects in regards to battery energy storage systems.
Okay. Oh, we'll look forward to your comments on the design as we go forward and look forward to that. Thank you for introducing yourself. With that, Frank and Emily, we're kind of good. Are we ready to turn it over to staff? Okay, let's turn it over to Ron.
The energy, the reports and stuff are all, as you talked about, have been received, distributed. They're available under a FOIL to the town clerk's office. So please, let them know that what you're looking for and we'll gladly get it to you electronically, or if you need paper copies, then there's a charge for that.
That's it?
That's it, Brittany.
Okay. Augie.
I have nothing to add at this point.
Come on, you always have something to add. Just being here, you've added something to the.
I try. Just my presence.
He got thrown in at the last second to fill in for Dan, so why I'm saying things like that. Tim,
Just that, we did have a good conversation with New Energy Works about the movement of the road to get it away. I think it's positive. It'll help, with getting that away and being able to, create the barrier that you're looking for and not having to
Right.
remove the trees. And so I'm
Right.
very positive.
cool. Yeah, I mean, that's a work in progress. It certainly takes time and get all the pieces together, get everybody to agree, but we appreciate the town working on it along with the applicants. Engineering,
Yeah, so since the last time we met, MRB Group did complete a review of the application materials we provided, which is the site plans, the decommissioning plan, the estimate, the O&M plan, the stormwater pollution prevention plan, and then any additional reports that were provided at that time. So we do have a comment letter that was provided to the town dated May 16th, 2024. Obviously, the applicant's working through a number of issues and comments at this time to address the roadway alignment. I'm anticipating that we'll get a response letter as part of any resubmission to the town, so that we can go through the comments and verify what, if any, questions there may be related to the MRB comment letter. With submission of the new material, the noise study, the geotech report, obviously MRB Group will complete a review of that to provide any additional comments we may have on that data, and we'll provide that in a separate cover upon completion.
thank you. All right, let's have the fire chief fill us in a little bit on your aspect for this application. I'm going to turn the room mics on now. Okay, go ahead, fire
So,
chief.
Last few weeks, I've been talking with Frank and he's been answering a lot of the questions I've had for him. He was nice enough to come in early tonight, him and his team, and explain the suppression system they're putting into theirs, their UL listing, which is the testing that they perform in all their battery devices and their storage units.
Right.
I'm very satisfied with the questions he's answered for me. I'm here tonight to answer questions anybody else might have as far as for the fire department and the fire district. But I mean, as far as the fire department is concerned, this is going to be one of the safest ones we have in our system, or in our district compared to the other ones. So we have no objections to moving forward on the project overall. It is a safe system. It's no different than any other solar farm that's been around.
And the fire department's had their training and for years now, right?
Yep, so we've had awareness level training when they put in the Delaware River Solar Project on the north end of town, which is a bigger system than this is gonna be. We continue to have training, and his team has offered to give us more training come the winter months when we look to do inside classroom training. So we're very interested in learning as much as we can.
Cool, okay. I just want to make sure we got that on the record. Okay. We've come to the public hearing phase, so let me see a hand of how many people want to speak tonight, so I kind of get an idea. That doesn't sound terrible, but I'm going to ask you to keep to around 3 minutes each. Again, we're at the phase of looking at the environmental record. Certainly, it's a public hearing. We'll take any comments that you want to make. We'll put them in the record. Our clerk is really good at that, so we'll make sure that you remind everybody that you're talking to me. I'm the chairperson, and we will either take the questions and look to see if we can answer them later, or I will ask somebody to answer them on the spot. We'll see what we can do. Certainly, I have experts here, we have fire experts and staff, but I'm not going to commit to answering every single question right off the cuff. So with that, I'm going to keep you to 3 minutes. Let's start with who would like to be the first one. Let me get my phone going here. Who would like to be the first one to make the first comments? Go ahead, ma'am. You are on the clock. Give us your name and address, please.
Eloise Stevens, 6031 Redfield Drive.
Okay, you're on the clock.
All right, so 6031 is right at the intersection of Commercial Drive and Redfield.
Okay.
And right now, there's a lot of cut-through traffic, which is, we have to deal with. But I'm wondering what the speed limit will be and the extended road, if that's going to be 30 miles an hour.
I believe it'd be 30.
Yeah.
All town roads there,
Yeah, so-
like that are third.
All right, thank you.
Okay, that was easy. Okay, let's, who would like to speak next? We have one in the back there. Ma'am, you got three. Let's get you started.
Joanne Pollock, 6005 Redfield.
Okay? Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I understand that the noise study has been completed. We haven't seen it yet. It just got handed in. Has there been a traffic study on the extension of commercial?
It was done years ago as part of the CAP project with the state DOT.
Is there going to be an updated one? Because if it was years ago, population was down. Now we have the solar farm. Will there be more traffic there?
Will there be more traffic there? There's no traffic there now, so the answer is yes.
I'm
Okay.
compared to years ago.
The answer is we haven't yet got to that point of saying whether there's a traffic study or not, but probably not. But we'll go from there. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Who would be next? Over here, say name and location.
Ann Dunford, 6007 Redfield.
Okay, you're on the clock.
I understand as part of the siting document from New York State that there's a lot of modeling that needs to be done, which will create simulations or photos for the local public to do about the proposed solar field itself, the photovoltaic system, and any sort of the landscaping plan. Has that modeling been done? And are the renderings available for public consumption?
That would certainly be part of our site plan of requirements of whatever we would do there. There doesn't seem to be any view shed into your area because everything's behind, 100 foot of woods. But certainly we'll be doing some of that, absolutely. And it's part of the next phase, and that's the preliminary site.
Okay,
Okay?
did you want to respond?
No, I think I answered it for him. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Who's next? Yes, sir.
I'm John Grady. We live at 6018 Redfield Drive.
Hey, you're on the clock.
First, I would like to thank the developer for taking our concerns about the road seriously,
Absolutely.
working on a solution.
Yep.
I hope that solution is going to be adequate for eliminating some of the closeness of the road and the reverse curves in the road, because that's going to cause a lot of noise. And also, are those preliminary drawings available yet? And when will they be?
We haven't received the preliminary site plans yet, have we? Guys?
New road location.
For the new road
It's
location?
in a-
Oh, no, we haven't yet.
So it's in a draft form right now. We just submitted it to town staff and would like to reconvene with New Energy just to make sure they got everything right that we agreed to. And then do some, a little bit more heavy engineering to be able to present at the next meeting.
Yeah, I have been clear that I don't want to submit anything out there that hasn't been blessed by New Energy Works, since they're the owner of the property. So the answer is no, that won't come out until we have an agreement with New Energy Works and the town that that's what we want to do and that they're on board with it. So the answer is no. You won't see that until we got that.
When do you expect to have that?
Now, whenever the powers to be, they've had at least 2 meetings already. We'll see how many more meetings it take before that. But I can tell you that I am not comfortable completing seeker until we have that information. So we're not going to turn around and do the environmental assessment until we have some resolution between New Energy Works and the folks here before we move forward. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, who's next would like to speak? Okay, sir.
Bob Karpinski, 6008 Redfield.
Okay, you're on the clock.
Oh, the proposed access road. I know it's not definite where exactly it's gonna be, but is it gonna change the existing drainage patterns?
Well, the answer is possibly, and that's certainly what we have town engineers to look at, and they're really, really good at what they do. I would think that changing it would do nothing. Well, I know that changing it will do nothing to increase any off flow from the site. Because that's part of what the whole watershed issue is that they can't have any more off than what currently does. So the answer is it'll have zero effect on what's there currently. Okay? Okay. Who's next? Yes, sir.
I'm Joel Shannon, I live at 6027 Redfield.
Okay,
I've got one question about the road.
okay.
I'm just wondering why it needs to be constructed as part of the process when it isn't even part of the needs to the solar farm.
It's a fairly long story. It has to do with town committing to it years ago. I'm certain that you can have conversations with the town board, who agreed to this many years ago. So the answer is, I don't necessarily, as planning board chair, have an answer.
I have a second question now that Eric is here. I'm wondering whether or not we'll get to see or understand what the battery management system will wind up being in terms of fire detection.
We will see that before we complete the environmental record, because that will be an important aspect of doing the seeker for this project. And I think you heard from the fire chief that he was very comfortable that this battery storage unit has fire suppression built into it, if I'm not mistaken. So it is a step above any other of the storage units we have in the town, which don't have suppression in them. So the answer is, it's planned to have that, but we will have those discussions before we finish the environmental record. And we will make sure that all the documentation is available for the public to review.
Thank you. Do we, at this point, even know what the type of fire suppression will be?
Eric, you want to fill them in on that if you can?
It's a static system.
Static? Okay, thank you. That's what I was hoping.
Okay. Good. So, sir, in the back.
Sam Camerata, 6009 Redfield.
Okay, you're on the clock.
Just to piggyback what my neighbor just said regarding the road.
Yeah,
We've heard repeatedly about this master plan to connect the two ends of Commercial Drive. This goes back some 20, 25, 30 years ago.
okay,
This was in the plan. What I'm wondering is the MTOD, Major Thoroughfare Overlay District, it's called,
Correct.
the plan sheet,
Mhm.
which is dated August 1st of 2017, revision 5, does not show a requirement to make the road connection between the two ends of Commercial Drive.
okay.
Why is it required today?
Ron, I've tried to give him the answers that I know. I know that the town board wants it done. I know that the town board has said that they want it done. We've turned it into the state saying it's gonna be done. What else can I say, Ron?
So you want it done, but it was never on the public record.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
No. Would it not be on the MTOD?
Can I ask the gentleman a question? Did you get the information from MRB recently?
No.
Okay. Because the official map that we have here in the town hall shows it.
Okay, yeah, you might want to check with the town to get the latest official map, which would show that. And certainly reach out to the building department. They can get the right information to you, because I think you've got old data. Okay, thank you. Whoops, there we go. Okay, who else would like to speak? Over here, sir.
Scott Powell, 6005 Redfield.
Okay, on the clock.
Just to gauge how many more people might be in the area, how many employees are gonna be working here on a daily basis? We know how Oh, really?
Zero, right?
Oh.
Basically, solar farms don't do
Oh, wow. It's.
don't do employees. They come and fix things, they come and look at things, they come and, you know, and do maintenance, but the daily support is zero, correct?
Zero job opportunities for people in the area and.
It's managed.
It's remotely managed, there'll be construction
Oh, wow.
timeframe, but maintenance is.
Yeah, very, very little.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, who else would like to speak? Sir,
Strong 5975 Redfield.
okay, you're on the clock.
Quick question. Has the applicant contacted the Ontario County Soil and Water Conservation District for the review yet?
Town does that automatically. We have an engineer on staff that deals with that on a regular basis. I mean, do we?
We coordinated with the Ontario.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Part of the verbal record.
Yeah, we already coordinated with him. Okay,
Thank you.
anything else? Okay. Sounds like everybody's got scripted questions. Okay, who else has got a question for us? By the way, if you've got a bunch of questions, it's a heck of a lot easier if you just submit a bunch of questions and let us go off and do what we need to do and come back and answer them. But you can do whatever you want. It's a public hearing. So next question. Next. Yes.
Hi, Helen Petraka. I just purchased 5900 Tweed Trail, which is about half a mile from there.
Yep.
I am just hearing about this project, so forgive me that it's not really prepared. I guess it's a fire question to start with. So how long would it take to put out a fire if there was one? And what would that release into the air and soil in that time?
Let me turn to Eric on that one because he is familiar with the fire suppression system and the system that is being planned for.
So if there is an event, which there's a low likelihood that there would be an event, but if there is an event, the ideology that we've implemented over the years through testing processes is that we allow that system to self-consume itself. Meaning that we limit the amount of water that's applied to it. And the water that is applied is not applied directly to the enclosure that is having the event. It's applied to the ones that are adjacent to it if it's necessitated. So we limit the amount of water that's utilized, so we don't, so with that, again, limits the water runoff, the concern of it, those kinds of aspects.
Okay? And our fire department is well-trained for the other units that are in our town already. So anything else, ma'am?
So then what would be released into the air while it waits to be?
Right, so the aspect of it is that what we see through the testing process, when we gain that information through the data that is collected, we see that what is put out into the air is gonna be no different than what we see in residential fires, commercial fires, those kinds of things. And we see more of those occur across the nation than what we see here with regards to battery.
Okay.
And without a fire or event, is there anything of concern in terms of endocrine disruptors that will be released on a daily basis? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who's next? Ma'am.
Judy Swycart, and I live in Bonnie Bray Circle in Farmington. From what I understand, these solar farms do not last forever.
Correct.
Okay. So when they're over with, then what happens? What do they do with them? They can't get rid of them, right?
We have a decommissioning plan that will be established. At the end of service life, the owners are required to return the property to its original condition. It's part of the plan. It's part of what we actually also take a bond on to make sure that there's enough funds that in case they walk away and don't take care of it, that the town has funds to be able to go through and do that. I think you're right, and these guys can probably answer that. Probably today, there's not a lot of recycling capabilities for solar panels, but in the life cycle, which is 20 to 30 years, I would guess that there's more recycling that will be set up and ready to go. But It's normally a 20 to 30-year lifespan. Although for technology, that's outrageously long. But that's what they say anyway, so.
Well, why do we need this to begin with?
Well, I don't think it's a question of need, it's a question of what the property is zoned for and what the applicant wants to put on it. I mean, whether they want to put it on and make money or not make money, that's their choice. The town has zoned that to be a specially permitted use in that property. They get to do what they want to do on it, you know, same as you. You own property, as long as it's within the code, you can do what you want to do with it. Okay? All right. Who's next? Ma'am,
And Dunford 6007 Redfield.
okay,
There's been a lot of discussion about existing battery storage facilities and how much better this one in design is. Can I ask, my question is related to the population around this particular battery storage facility. According to the 2020 census, the census tract where this proposed facility will be and the adjacent facilities, and this was 2020, had a total population of 11,030 people. And of that community, 1,075 were 65 years of age or older. Could someone, perhaps the fire chief, tell us how this population density compares to the population densities around these other facilities of battery storage?
I don't think anybody has that information. I mean, John, you can kind of share with us where the other storage facilities are, if you'd like.
Your other battery storage is a Tesla at the RGD plant on Hook Road, literally the other side of your neighborhood. Right where that big power plant is before the thruway on Hook Road, there is a system that's a little bigger than what they're proposing here. That's been in for a few years, and then we have the Delaware River Solar Farm, which is about 3 times, I think we'd estimate.
Yeah.
They're building here up on the north end of the district.
I'm not concerned about the size of that facility. I'm concerned about the population density around these.
Well, the one here at the RG&E station is less than a mile from Egan. So in theory, there's a lot, the density is about the same for the test for that one there anyway.
So as far as the other one is built out in agricultural land, so yeah, it's less dense.
Yeah,
But it's
solar farms out there, but the battery storage is a mile from you guys.
So does the bond, well, admittedly, looking at the census maps, the districts that I looked at, are districts that are theoretically downwind of this particular area, so they wouldn't address the density around the existing.
But like we said, I think the experts have said that the air quality from the burn is no different than a regular house fire burn, basically, is what their study has been.
I'm sorry, with lithium battery, the houses with lithium batteries in them?
The components that we see within the all gas structure is no different than what we're seeing in an actual structured fire itself.
So we haven't heard data on exactly how big the battery storage facility.
It's coming, it's gotta come before the environmental record is completed, yes.
So we don't have that data yet.
Well, we have some data, it's certainly available, we have had it, we are looking at it, but it's available for the public because it's in our building department. Because you guys have provided all the information to there, it's available through the building department. All you gotta do is ask for it. It's there, yep, and may even be published online, I'm not sure what's been published yet.
I don't know if that's online at this point.
Yeah, I don't know, but before we get to the finish of the environmental record, all of it will be certainly online and available. Okay. All right, let me reset there. Who'd like to speak next, ma'am? Go ahead.
Marcia Grady, 6018 Redfield Drive.
Okay.
In the event of an incident with the battery storage, if there is one, what is the evacuation radius?
I don't think there is one. Well, go ahead.
There is not one currently established by the overarching aspects in the nation. But from our company's standpoint, when we do the training with the fire department, we tell them to do a 100-foot offset so that they're able to obtain their information accordingly. So the area in which this is being proposed is an ideal place because the distance offset between that site and the residential exposures
Is over 100 feet,
is well over 100 feet.
100 feet.
Yeah, way over. Okay, who else would like to speak? Yes, ma'am.
Pam Spitzer, 599 Redfield Drive. I'm just curious, not every solar field has a battery.
Correct.
Why does this one have a battery?
Good question. I'll let Frank answer that one.
You don't want that one.
Pardon? I'm not gonna answer it, but Frank's the expert. I mean, I've heard the answer, but I'll let Frank answer.
The technology has evolved to a point where now it is actually beneficial to have energy storage beside a solar facility. They work hand in hand. A solar facility generates power during daylight hours. Batteries will transfer that power to evening or use at night where the solar is not generating, so they work together very well. The reason that they have not been as popular is mostly a technology issue. We needed the technology to get to a point where it is not only available but safe, and it's a perfect pairing with solar.
And it was, if I'm not mistaken, did I hear that it was a recommendation from RG&E? Or RG&E likes the concept, or
So
speak up to them, Mike, but
someone asked why are we doing this?
Yeah.
The need is being generated from the state level, so.
state level, okay.
The state has not mandated, but
Encourage,
encouraged to become a carbon-free energy storage. So we're actually connecting to the utility to meet that goal.
What do other solar fields do that don't have?
So
batteries?
they will only generate when the sun is shining. And the utility grid absorbs that energy and redistributes it. So there's no transfer needed.
and if the state continues to do this encouraging, many of those probably will end up with newer battery storage capability after that. Just because they're built doesn't mean they can't continue to put those in, so we just haven't seen it yet, so. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, who's next in the room before I go online? Anyone else in the room like to speak? Anybody like to speak? Okay, I'm gonna turn to online. Anyone online like to speak for or against this application? Anybody online like to speak for or against this application? Okay, I'm gonna ask one more time. Okay, just a second. I've got a question or a comment from Lance, our engineer.
It was mentioned earlier by a gentleman that in 2017 MTOD map did not show the cross connection from Corporate Drive.
Yep.
So I do have a map from 2017 that has 5 revisions. I'm assuming it's the same one. I don't know. What I'll do is I'll send this to the town for the record, showing that the version that I believe the town approved does in fact have that. And then obviously the residents that are in questioning that can most certainly foil it from the town and confirm that what I'm looking at is the same thing that you're looking at.
Okay.
But there is a newer version. I do think it's important. There is an updated version. The town typically updates these maps every so often when new information as it becomes available. So MTOD maps have been going on for a number of years. And there was an update to that MTOD map more recently, but I had heard the 2017 version didn't show it. I do have a version that does show it that I believe was approved by the town. So I'll provide it to the town just to have it for the record.
What's the current version of the MTOD?
Current
I'll
version.
put them on the spot. We need to
21.
do that, but. Because they, almost every year, there's a review, isn't there? A review and revision?
Well, there's a review of the whole plan.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna open it up so I can get the date on the map.
okay. All right, anyone else like to say anything else? Otherwise, okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Last question, how is the process, 5100 Sweet Trail? Is there anything that will be released into the air or soil or water during construction that is unlike a typical residential house?
I'll answer no, but go ahead, let Frank.
That's the correct.
Yeah, it's just a standard, actually, usually, and again, I'm speaking for the other project, usually it's galvanized,
So steel.
steel driven into the ground. It's what I would call semi-permanent. I mean, it's in the ground. They can, yeah, concrete pads, it can be pulled up, jackhammered up and put back to original condition relatively easy. But that's part of why we have the decommissioning plan and all of the maintenance plans and everything else that we require before we allow it to go online. So. Answer?
The last signed version that the town has was done by local law. And this plan doesn't say the number of 2022, but it was 2022.
2022, that's what I thought. I thought there was a more current one certainly than 17. Okay, last call for any other final comments before we come to the board, and then our plan is, well, we have resolutions that will continue the preliminary site plans as well as special use permit. Anyone else? Okay, turn to the board. Adrian, any comments?
All right, now.
Doug?
Not right now. Okay.
Okay, like I said, we're looking for you guys when we get some more firm agreement from a New Energy Works. Then, once we have that, and certainly staff will be talking to me, we can run out those new markers for the new proposed road, but I don't want to do that until New Energy Works says, okay, this looks good, because the stuff's going to go on their property. And so then we can look at that. That way it'll give you some idea of where it is, and we'll have maps that you can see, as well as the markings. So that's really important. And we're still continue to gather information, look at stuff, continue to review the documents that you guys gave us. We have all walked, I believe, the current configuration of the road, at least behind your place, to make sure that we understand it. We've walked it, we've seen it. We're looking for the new alignment to see how that looks, and then we'll go from there. With that, I have 4 resolutions of continuation. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve those resolutions? Moved by Adrian, seconded by Doug. Any other comment? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
DeLucia.
Aye.
Doug Beach.
Aye.
Adrian Vells.
Aye.
Ed Henninger.
Aye. Okay, we're continued until the July 17th. Ooh, I got the date right. Okay, next item up is PB 06. If you guys want to stay, that's fantastic. If you want to leave, now's the time to do it, because I'm going to get on to another project. Okay? It's totally up to you guys. I am. I'm going to just hold on. This one, this next one is engineering. And has to do with Brittany's canning shop. No, it's a private. And yeah. Okay. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to move on out, because we're gonna do another one here in just a minute. Sorry, Brittany, we're gonna take a few minutes, so it's a little calm.
Who is that serving? Serving? Is it serving a community?
No. Private and. I mean, the power goes to the RG&E grid, yeah. But nobody knows where it goes, and it's not specific. It goes to RG&E, yeah, it feeds right into the grid right there where it'll connect to the grid, so, yeah. All right.
Lives in Florida where you go down 95, it's Fort Pierce. Miles and miles and miles of them, and it goes all the way over to the middle of the state
Yep.
where the generator is.
It certainly does.
Whole state.
Certainly does.
And our electric bills went down.
Well, that's what the state of New York's trying to do. I mean, they're trying to continue to do that.
Thirds.
Yeah, I'm not convinced we'll have that much in New York State that'll drive it down that much. Not sure, but. Okay, do me a favor, kick that door closed out there if you will, before we get started. That way we can move on. Thanks, Eric, for coming. Appreciate it. Okay, let's move on to the next one, PB 0601-24. This is the Brittany Shearer Properties tanning booth plus waxing, right?
Yes.
There you go. Remember. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, my name is Rafael Barretto. I'm with Marathon Engineering representing Shearer today. So this project was labeled as Lot 1 as part of the Redfield Grove Incentive Zoning Project Phase 3.
Right.
This was an existing building that was in a little corner of the original lot that was split off into its own lot. Ms. Shearer has purchased the property for her business. As a condition of that, we just need to make some updates to the property. We're essentially paving the parking lot. We're making enough space for 11 parking spaces. 6 of those are going to be built today. We're going to leave enough room for 5 extra if they are required in the future. And we are also adding a light post along Route 96 for the requirement of overlay district, as well as making a sidewalk connection to the sidewalk that is along Route 96.
Cool.
Yep. We have received comments, I've read through the draft resolution. I think all of the comments are pretty technical in nature. I think we can sort those out.
Excellent, excellent. Glad to see the building being used. You like that, Ron?
Yeah, I drafted a resolution to approve with conditions.
Yep.
The preliminary site plan seeker was done for this previously, so that's been taken care of as part of the amendment to the phase 3 portion of the site.
Cool.
So I think we're ready to go.
Excellent. Augie, I'll get you in 2 seconds. Augie?
Nothing additional to add to the conditions from the draft resolution.
Tim?
I have no.
Engineering?
I don't have anything additional either.
Fire? Ma'am, go ahead.
Guys, are we set on the sidewalk going from the side to the front door?
Typically do. We typically do, yeah.
They got funding for that for me? They want to do grading and everything too.
Hey, what?
We do need to grade. We do need to do a little bit of grading to make sure that that sidewalk transition is nice and smooth.
ADA compliant.
Yeah, we have required everyone else to do it. It's 88 too now, yes.
What about the driveway?
What about the driveway?
Considering the driveway and the sidewalk will be connected, would that suffice instead of the sidewalk?
I think it's into the building.
You walk down the driveway, the front door.
And are there steps?
So we have to make the front door ADA compliant along with there's gotta be a ramp, because there's a step right now. So we'll be transitioning that into a ramp or some sort of compliant.
So there's, what I'm currently showing there's a technical warning strip that goes up to a accessible ramp up in.
Right. We've made all other applicants within the corridor connect to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Even crossers?
Because not all of your customers are gonna be driving automobiles.
Yeah, it's something we've required of everyone else, so.
Well, any new application.
Yeah,
Social mention cost was like, if they came in for.
They're just grandfathered in?
Yeah.
Till they come in.
So they pop in.
Once they come in for a change,
Yeah.
they'll have to do it.
Yes.
Yes, along with everybody else that's along there. If they haven't got it now, they will. I bet you the Advent Auto probably doesn't have one either, but they will when they come in for any changes. So, I mean, not much we can do if they're grandfathered in until they come in.
Okay.
So, okay? So you won't feel so left out. Okay? Anything else from you? Anything else, man?
No.
Okay, board, any comments? Adrian, where's the land bank parking?
So the land-based parking is gonna be, just, basically it's a double stack, right on top,
Okay, so it'll be
in front
of what's.
In front of that, yeah. You probably wanna show that to us. Just, yeah, just throw it on the map, just so we see it.
Yeah, so.
I'd much prefer land bank parking than actually have
Have it on this.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead and put those on the.
Yep.
The map, so we
That'll
can.
be on the preliminary.
Yeah, cool. Okay, anything else? Okay, we have a motion to approve with conditions. And anybody have any comments? Okay, do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve with conditions? Motion by Tim, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? We'll take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia. Aye. Doug Beats. Aye. AJ Dallas. Aye. And Henry.
Aye, okay, you good? Do what's in the or what's in the resolution, get it in, we get it signed, move on and go to the next step, which the only other step left is final. But once that's taken care of, we get the final, it's the same process, but should be easier since we've already, you know what the conditions are. Boom, boom, we get it signed, done deal, and you're good to go.
Do I have to wait for that to get the permits to start on the inside?
Answer is yes. Right, well,
Inside technically, no.
inside technical, you know, you work with staff on it,
Okay.
but outside stuff.
Anything outside, I mean, obviously if it's windows and stuff,
What?
that doesn't
The
matter.
key is to get it in, get it so we
Okay.
sign it quickly and get it on the next whatever one that we can get it on. I don't know which one we can get it on. But if not, I don't, probably 17th is full.
Yeah, it would be.
Probably be the first meeting in August. Probably.
The only thing is I'm pushing with the driveway people. Like to get quotes with them. I know they're like pushing out, so I don't know if I can wait to get the driveway paved and then they don't pave in the fall and.
I think based on what we have shown here, you can show them that and. But the schedule is gonna be after we can probably get it on for final. So
They're lined up for.
work with staff and they can give you the best idea of what to do.
Okay.
Talk to Augie tomorrow or whenever.
Talk with staff, we only got a late meeting in July.
We only got one in July and then we go into August, so. But I would imagine they're pushing out, I don't know, I mean,
I got an August date.
yeah, so, okay. All right, everything's good? Did we approve? Okay, we did it. We're good. You're good. Okay. Next item up is we have other board actions. We have 3, 6, we have 7 applications, which are. Okay. There's 8. I don't know. Okay. I only show, I thought there was only 7.
A, B, C is 3. D, E, F is 3. 3 and 3 is 6. G and H is.
I didn't have H on mine.
H. Where the H did it go?
I only got 7, that's why everybody.
That's too funny. Well, do we have 8? Which one is H?
H is the final subdivision for 1426 County Road 8.
Why would we have to deem that adequate for final?
That's A.
Somehow it's on there twice. A and H are the same thing.
There's only 7.
It's always seven.
That's why we have no H, because it was on there twice.
Okay, so let's start here. We have, and this is a new requirement from the state of New York that we have to deem the applications are adequate before we can set the public hearing date. It's just a pain in the butt, but it's a procedure that we must do from the state of New York. So I have 7 board actions that I would like to block and approve them without reading, and we have all of those resolutions. Do I have someone to move that? Moved by Doug, seconded by Tim. Okay. So, well, go ahead, clerk, take a roll call vote and you can say what you get.
I have to abstain from D and E, but I'm aye on all the rest.
Aye for all. So they're all now going to be able to be setting the public hearing, sending it off to county, doing all their magic and stuff like that. It's just one of those administrative things that the state of New York threw at us the last time around. Okay, go ahead. We'll do that. Let you have a question right now. You can just sit.
Potter 4226, I'm member A and evidently D.
Okay.
Okay, so is there any way at the July 17th meeting to get through the process, approve it, and potentially close it at that meeting, or do we have to have 3 more meetings to get that done?
We typically do not do preliminary and final in the same meeting. We use,
This one is,
They've had preliminary.
yeah, this is the.
oh,
final.
this is final?
Yeah.
Why are we deeming it adequate then? The answer is, if it's final, it's final.
That's.
One meeting, that's it. I don't understand
Application.
if it's final, why it's even on here.
That's a
Augie.
subdivision though, right?
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
No, right, no.
Yeah.
So then she'll have to come back for the. For plans for the
Oh, for the
house.
plans, yeah.
She'll have other
The
meetings.
subdivision will be done, but then you gotta do the preliminary and final for the preliminary site plan and the final site plan
There's total
Bill,
3 meetings.
right?
for the actual bill.
Okay, well, I'm not worried about that right now, that's their
Eh,
thing.
So there's
but
3
I'm
meetings
not
left.
got questions on.
There's still 3 meetings, but you only got 1 month.
I have one, so what's gonna happen at the next meeting, the July 17th meeting for me, for this final application? Now that
Well,
the survey's been submitted and that all the adjustments have been made.
hopefully the resolution will accept the final drawings as submitted and direct you to file them in the county clerk's office.
Okay.
Once they're.
And we would have to sign it one more
Yeah,
time.
we got
for
the
nothing.
final, that's already
Yeah.
been given to you, the final survey.
So I would think
As long as the engineer-
that it should take about 3 minutes max for you to say, nothing's changed other than what we told you to change, and staff says nothing's changed, and then we say yay verily, and you go forward.
All right, so we don't have to go through the whole public hearing thing again.
No,
'cause we
Public
did-
hearing is done.
Okay.
That was closed.
All right. Thank
No
you.
public hearing. It should be basically, and like I said, I don't know why it's on here since it's a final. Most of the other ones, well, there's another final subdivision for Scout Plain.
That's
Yeah, but I'll have to talk to staff and see why we have final on here. Doesn't make any sense. Usually deeming the application adequate is before
Right.
we even start seeker. You know, it's, so
Mhm.
that doesn't, actually, we got 2 more finals on there, so. I think we got our wires crossed on some of these, but we do have the approved resolutions, so they're done. So the answer is your part will be easy, and you guys need to, come up with the preliminary site plan, get that turned in. And we'll go through the preliminary. The key is the preliminary. Once we get that done and say, here are the conditions, your people go off, do the conditions really quick. And then we sign them, and then you come back for final, which is pretty much the same, nothing really changes, and boom, we get it.
Those through the meeting to like the 17th of next month and stuff too, or is that?
You won't get on the 17th because the site plan hasn't been,
So there's
or
no way
the
we'll-
subdivision.
There's no way we're breaking ground until September then,
Yeah, at least, yeah.
so we're fucked.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I mean, what I would do if I were you in your position, I'd go sit down, talk to the staff and say, okay, What's the schedule? What do we have to do? How do we get stuff in? What are the timeframes? How do we make this as quick as possible? And they'll tell you what that is. They're the ones that tell us what we hear because they have the schedule and everything else. So sit down and talk to Augie.
You should be able to put, they should be able to put preliminary site planning for August. The cutoff's not until July, it's July.
It's the day before your guys' meeting.
Right.
Yeah, so you should, if you get the preliminary in by the 16th of July, you should be fine. And then we can theoretically do it first meeting in August. You guys get it turned around really quickly, and you probably do the first meeting in September for final, and you'll be good to go, I would think. Talk to these guys, they're the experts.
Talk to them, they'll know.
Okay? Hmm?
It can be in by Christmas.
Yeah. Nobody's building it.
Hey, my house was built in 3 months in the middle of winter, so. Other than concrete cracking and whatever. So. Oh, well, so that's the story. Okay?
So, we can just have like our builder reach out to you, would it probably be the best thing to do, or should we reach out?
Well, who's doing the site plan?
Our builder.
So if he's doing the site plan, then yes, he can reach out, I can set up, we can talk, I can talk with him. Ideally, you guys would be involved in the conversation too, because.
Who's the builder?
Paul Johnson.
We've never seen him.
Okay.
Yeah.
First meeting.
Yeah.
He's asked a bunch of questions.
Okay, like I said, I don't think we make it that difficult, but it does take some time because we try to make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted.
Right.
We're very, very careful about that, okay?
Oh, that's cool, thank you.
All right, okay. All right, so next item up is report, Director of Development.
Okay, work has started, you might have seen.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you in a month.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Oh, did you? There you go.
Started in your position.
Yeah. He's the best. He's the best. Ever.
Things sure have changed. All of the board members at our meetings, it was.
Our town's been pretty good about that.
It's changed, right?
I don't know. I've been doing this for 27 years. Yeah, I know. That was well before my time here anyway.
You're doing a good job.
Okay, well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Okay, let's start with Ron. Go ahead. Yes, we got sidewalks going in or at least being dug up.
We got old moved, we had sidewalks going in, we got a trail connection that is going in. The only problem with going in is the concrete because they are not able to schedule with concrete to get out there as quickly as they thought they might be able to.
Right.
But social media is very happy to see
I saw that.
sidewalks going in and we'll just
Public is happy.
continue with this. Farmington Market Center. They're talking with the owner of the property about these lease agreements that they had. He insisted on when they started this process 3-4 years ago. Now, all of a sudden, he's decided maybe he's got to go back and revisit them to see if the terms and conditions are still applicable, given what's been going on in the world the past 3 or 4 years. So hopefully we'll have something next month in the way of a preliminary overall plan and come along August, September time. You will be going through the secret process on that.
You are an optimistic person.
I said hopefully. The Ag Advisory Committee is meeting tomorrow night. They've been given revised regulations. And we'll see whether they are ready to go or if they're not. We'll pull that portion out of the local law and do what needs to be done on the rest of it.
This is farmland protection, correct?
For the overlay district. Yep. And then finally, Whitestone, we have a list of uses that town staff and the town board members have seen next week. they have the, not next week, the 26th. Yeah, 26th. They have the town board meeting on Wednesday,
Yes.
and they'll be taking action, hopefully at that point, to say, we'll do parts 2 and 3 and draft up the resolution, and let's get on with this. And that'll be something to keep you busy all during the winter months.
There you go. We appreciate that. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Augie,
So happy to be here.
I know, we just love having you here.
So obviously, we have a couple continuations for the next, monthly meeting. I'm gonna work with Ron. Maybe tomorrow, or you're not here tomorrow? In the next couple of days, we'll get the legal notices drafted for, the 2 applications that will be on for next month as well, and those will be submitted to the county for their review. And that would be for the 1816 Quaker Meeting House and the final, for Pintail Crossing or Creekwood Phase 2.
Okay, let's get the contour lines better defined on that Fowler diagram all the way through the entire project.
Well,
I think it's okay, it's just you can't see them at the scale we saw them.
Jim Baker is not really weighed in because the drawings just came out today. But he is working, he requested those drawings.
Yep.
And we'll just rely on Jim to continue
Good.
his professional.
All righty. Anything else, Augie? I'm sorry.
No.
You good? Tim?
Completed our chip seal today, our oil and stone, so if you don't like those roads, don't go to the northeast section of town. Avoid those. After the 4th of July, we'll start helping Victor Mill, and then we'll be coming over here doing our milling.
Say,
Start to get busy.
biggest one is 41. Everybody is up in arms over 41. That's county,
That's
not
how.
you.
Plan
Engineering.
all the way. I don't have anything to add tonight.
Okay. Fire. Anything else from our residents here? Thanks for coming, by the way. We appreciate it. And we're glad to see people from other areas other than just the area right around there. So, other than that, I continue to work with staff, whatever. I met with Fowler folks and we got that. We saw the first map and everything seemed to be on a steep slope and then come to find out it really wasn't. And so it's a challenge. But with that, anybody have anything? Oh, yeah. Did you lost one of your staff or losing Caitlin or whatever? Lost?
Yes, can't find her. All right.
Oh, you're looking for somebody, you're looking for a replacement.
Yes, so the town is actively looking for a replacement for that position.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
So if somebody don't find someone or something, just reach out. If somebody-
Reach out to anyone except for me.
And by the way,
It sounds like Dan's out for a while, so you're the man.
Yeah, unfortunately,
So-
I'm the guy.
Sounds like we are reaching out to you.
Yeah, so I'll figure, I'm not sure why those finals were on there.
yeah, that didn't make any sense. Now that I look at it, it didn't make any sense. Okay. Motion to adjourn by Adrian, seconded by Doug. All in favor?
Names.
Done.